Hey everybody, my name is Philip Shepard. I'm a local real estate agent here in Northwest Arkansas, and today we're going to be talking about something really important when it comes to Northwest Arkansas. And that is, what are the best places to hike and bike in Northwest Arkansas? So let's talk about that. But before we jump into the content, please feel free to subscribe to the channel. I produce content all the time for Northwest Arkansas. So if you're thinking about moving here and you want to kind of be updated about like all the cool things that are happening here, definitely subscribe so you can keep up to date about all the cool things that are happening when you come down here. Also, if you could hit that like button, I'd really appreciate that. It just makes sure that people see all the content that I'm producing for Northwest Arkansas. So the first one, and probably one of the most important things and mountains in Northwest Arkansas, is Centennial Park. Centennial Park is located right in Fayetteville, Arkansas, and it was actually purchased years ago by the city of Fayetteville. And what they decided to do was they wanted to invite this major competition called the Cyclocross World Championships. And basically it's a biking competition. And what they did was, like the last 5 years, 3 to 5 years, they've been building out this mountain specifically for this championship. And so if you don't know what cyclocross is, essentially it's just like a really insane biking competition where people get off their bikes, they run upstairs, they do all sorts of crazy stuff, and they actually do it usually in January. So it's usually cold, it's wet, and it's snowing, and so it's usually a crazy time out in cyclocross. But what happened was that Fayetteville literally bought the mountain, and they decided to invite the Cyclocross World Championships here. So they have just endless amounts of trail systems, they have things designed for bikers and hikers, and everything you even want to dream of if you want to go on a mountain in Northwest Arkansas. Centennial Mountain is where it's at. And secondly, probably the crown jewel of Bentonville is Slaughter Pen and the Back 40. So I'm going to combine all these together. There's a lot of trail systems out in Bentonville. The whole trail system up in Bentonville is fantastic. But Slaughter Pen is just well known because it's that connection point right in downtown Bentonville. If you want to get on your bike and head down to downtown Bentonville, you're going to be jumping on Slaughter Pen. And so rather than explaining all the amazing features about Slaughter Pen and the Back 40 and all the other trail systems that are up in Bella Vista, what I'm going to do is I'm going to kind of show you just a quick slideshow of some of the amazing features there, because they've designed some amazing trails for bikers and everything up in Bentonville and Bella Vista. It's all connected. It's such a great time going up there and biking. So I'm going to show you kind of a quick slideshow of some of the really cool features about that area. Now let's head back down to Fayetteville and let's talk about Mount Kessler. Mount Kessler, once again, was bought years ago, partially by the city of Fayetteville and also the Ozark Trail System down here. So there's an organization that runs a lot of the Ozark Trail Systems, and they have part of the mountain as well. And what they've done is they've continued to develop over the course of years, just endless miles of trails on Mount Kessler. So it's really cool on Mount Kessler, on the top of Mount Kessler, there's actually like kind of a ghost house that's been there for however long. It's probably over 150 years old. It's probably a very Civil War-esque based house right on top of us, and they've kept that there so you can pass by it all the time. And the interesting thing that they did with Mount Kessler was the fact that they used just all the rock and system already developed there and just made it better. So rather than putting concrete and bringing in all this sorts of new stuff, they used so much of the dirt and the rocks and all the trail system that was already kind of developed there by the animals. And what they designed is just made it accessible by bikes and hikers. And so Mount Kessler is really geared towards biking and hiking. It is a more intense kind of trail system. It's not probably the best for starters. What it is great for is hikers and bikers that do like to get off their bikes, maybe have to walk up a couple things, get over some rocks. So if you're into that kind of biking style, definitely Mount Kessler for you. And also if you're into hiking, Kessler is the place to be for sure. Also, if you are looking to move to Northwest Arkansas, definitely download my 3-day itinerary that's linked below. And what that will include is essentially that if you're planning on moving down here, or if you're trying to see if NWA is the best fit for you, I made a 3-day itinerary. So essentially what that means is that if you're an adventurer, if you're into sports, if you're into sightseeing, if you're into culture and arts, there's a 3-day itinerary for you. So if you come down here, I've basically mapped out 3 days to see some of the greatest things in NWA, because there's so much to do. And so that 3-day itinerary will help so much kind of deciding what you want to spend your time in when you're down here in Northwest Arkansas. And also give me a call to see some homes when you're down here, and we can see how far your dollar will go compared to where you're coming from. Now let's talk about kind of an unknown gem in the NWA area, and that is called Lake Wedington. So Lake Wedington is just west of kind of the Bentonville-Fayetteville area, closer to Siloam Springs off of Wedington Road. And so it has these endless amounts of trail systems out there, probably about 20 or 30 miles of trail systems, well developed, well manicured, and it butts up right up against Lake Wedington. So not only do you get a great trail system, but you get to ride along this amazing lake for endless miles and miles. And on top of that, connected to Lake Wedington is just endless amounts of gravel roads. So in case you want to jump off the trail system and you want to jump on some gravel roads, that's totally accessible too. And they're very low traveled areas. You're not going to be watching out for cars or anything like that. And so it's one of those things where you just want to get out with your friends with your bikes and head up Lake Wedington. It's a great place to go and get some really long distance miles. And another just amazing trail system that is kind of unknown in the area is Hobbs State Park. So Hobbs State Park is like a 54-mile long trail system, and it interweaves and everything. And the really fascinating thing I love about that park is the fact that it runs along all the water systems in NWA. So there's Beaver Lake, there's all sorts of rivers that run through Hobbs State Park. So not only are you going to get a great experience when it comes to amazing trail systems, it's going to be just an amazing scenery as well. And one of the fascinating things that happens in Hobbs State Park is the fact that Monument Trail System, which is a well-known trail system builder out here in NWA, what they've done is they've built so many miles of trails in Hobbs State Park. So it's great for beginners, it's great for experts as well, but they're just so nicely manicured, well put together trail system that you and family can enjoy all year long. With Hobbs State Park as well is the fact that not only can you ride your bikes out there, but you can also camp out there. So they have just endless camping sites. So if you want to actually, bring your cars out there, your camping site or your camper out there and stay the weekend out there, not a problem. Also, one other interesting thing about Hobbs State Park is the fact that every trail system out there is horseback ready. So in case you have horses, that's a great place to bring them. And lastly, but not least, is Devil's Den. And I've talked about Devil's Den before in previous videos, but it's one of those things that just needs to continue to be talked about because they've invested so much time and energy and resources into making Devil's Den just an amazing place for all of NWA to go to either hike or bike or to spend some great time with family. At Devil's Den, not only do they have an amazing trail system, also that was built by Monument Trails as well, is the fact that they have waterfalls, they have picnic tables out there, they have a suspension bridge, they have an actual pool out there. So in case you want to take your family out there and just spend a day out at Devil's Den, there's a pool there as well, community pool. They have cabins that you can rent and lodges you can rent. They have campsites. Devil's Den is really just designed for anyone who wants to spend any time outdoors with friends or family. You got to definitely check out Devil's Den. All right, that's all I have for you guys today. Really appreciate it. Once again, if you're looking to move down to Northwest Arkansas, definitely give me a call, and also definitely check out the 3-day itinerary link below. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one.